I'd like to demonstrate 7 different ways for playing a 1-6-2-5 progressions. There are lots of 1-6-2-5 progressions in jazz standards, but sometimes it's hard to recognize them because they disguise themselves. So I'm going to show you some ways how you can realize that they're really 1-6-2-5 progressions, and at the same time you're going to get a lot of ideas for harmonizing melodies. So let's start with a 1-6-2-5-1 using shell voicing, and let's start in the key of E flat. In this next exercise, we're going to get another note on top of the G string, so we're going to add a note on the B string. Watch out for the chord in the 6th degree. I'm playing a dominant 7th chord. So in this next example, I'm going to do 2 things at once. I'm going to replace the tonic chord with the chord on the 3rd degree. So if we're playing a 1-6-2-5 in G major, I'm going to replace the G major chord with the B minor 7 chord. I'm going to play the tritone substitute of each dominant 7th chord that I'm using. So I'm going to turn the E7 into a B flat 7 and the D7 into a flat 7. So I come up with this chord progression. Can hear it? This chord on the 3rd degree, it really wants you to repeat that sequence, and in the end when you resolve it, you can really play the tonic chord. The end of a song, like a vamp, like a 1-6-2-5 vamp that appears in a lot of jazz standards, is really a very, very good place to check out all those turnarounds. Check out One Note Summer, have a look at the first 4 bars and try to understand how these chords are connected to that tune. But we're going to transform all of the chords into dominant 7th chord. Going to demonstrate that with the shell voicings. And what I like about it, that we have that parallel motion of those 3 notes. Another thing that I really like to do is to keep the top note, the highest note of the chord. And in this case, I'm not going to play the root because in the moment that I'm skipping the root, I have so much more freedom. A more modern way of playing a 1-6-2-5-1 is to incorporate a chromatic 2-5-1. And what we're going to do is, before we play the A minor 7 D7, just going to play the same chords but half note higher. If you're thinking about all the minor 7 chords that you would have in the key of G, right? If we're using the shell voicings and then lowering the root by a half note, we get all the chords that we need to play a ladybird turnaround. There's an order to it. It's 1 flat 3, flat 6, flat 2, and that would sound like 1 flat 3, flat 6, flat 2. And we could try to have a common top note here as well. Let's pick the G. Of course, we could also think, why not play Coltrane changes in the turnaround, because in the end it's all tension and release. So let's play Coltrane changes using the shell voicings. And let's try to find some nicer chords. So have fun checking out those chords and try to find different ways of playing the chords. And one way you can do that is to really listen to the top note and think about the top note as a melody that you're going to follow while you're playing chords, and then your accompaniment is going to turn into sort of an improvised line, never standing in the way of the soloist, but there's a lot to discover. If you like this video, check out my video about 8 jazz practice routines. You can spice up your practice sessions with some new exercises. Other than that, that's it for today, and I see you next Monday. Keep on practicing.